Hello, hello, and a happy Tuesday afternoon to you all. My name is Drew Moholland. This is Afternoon Drive here on WJOP Radio. Thank you for starting your early afternoon with us here on a beautiful, beautiful day in Newburyport. There's this, it's been pushing like 60 degrees. Tomorrow we're going to be pushing 70, and right now as I look out the window, there's like this little like fog thing or something going on. I don't know if it's off the ocean or what. I think it's pretty common around here, but no sun at the moment, but whatever it is, it's kind of cool looking out there. So, but we got some nice warm weather here, and it feels a little bit like spring out there. So that is right around the corner. Makes you think baseball, spring training, all that stuff. But no, we're not going to get too far ahead of ourselves, because today our guest is Dave Clay, the coach of Newburyport basketball. Good time to talk with him, because they are waiting on the pairings for the state tournament. They clinched. Obviously, they got off to a great start. We had them on before the holidays. These guys were cooking pretty good, and his guys punched a ticket to the state tournament. So waiting to see who they will play. So we'll talk about that with Coach Dave Clay. And it's going to be a bit of a Newburyport week. I'll just tell you who we have on Thursday, too. Finally, we're going to have Coach Paul Yameen of Newburyport Hockey. The schedules tend not to line up for Coach Yameen to join us here on this show because of the practice schedule. They tend to practice at the same time, but things are different this week with the Newburyport Bank Tournament going on over there at the Graph. So Coach Paul Yameen will be our guest Thursday afternoon. So look forward to catching up with the coach. Newburyport Hockey, of course, another team from Newburyport that has punched a tournament berth. So very exciting. We got some coaches that have some postseason stuff going on, so pretty good. We'll get right to Dave Clay in 1 minute here. Just a quick little programming thing. Don't forget on Twitter, you can follow us at Joppa Afternoons. That is at Joppa, J-O-P-P-A, Afternoons on Twitter. We'll do it right here. If you want to send us any questions here during the show, you can do that too. I know that was pretty cool with some of the other guests we've had on. So if I remember correctly, Coach Clay was a very popular guest last time from the Twitter. So we'll maybe get some questions if you're watching at home. Don't text and drive. Pull over if you have to send a question. But that's that. Again, thank you so much for starting your afternoon with us. We will get right to Coach Clay here in just a moment. We'll take our first little commercial break, and then we'll be right back. Again, it's Afternoon Drive. My name is Drew Moholland. Keep it here. All right, welcome on back to Afternoon Drive here on Joppa Radio. My name is Drew Moholland. Thank you again for starting your afternoon with us here on a nice Tuesday afternoon. Hopefully you're enjoying the warm weather. And well, we're still talking winter sports, though, because we got a real good basketball team in town. We got a couple of them, actually. But we're joined today by the head coach of Newburyport boys basketball, Coach Dave Clay. Coach, how are you? Good to have you back on.
Thank you for having me back on.
Exactly. I think you might be. We haven't had too many repeat guests. I think this might be the first repeat guest.
Well, I appreciate it greatly.
That's a huge honor.
Yes, it is.
Tournament berth. Congratulations. Since I think we had you on right before the holidays.
Yep.
Maybe even early December, and you guys had gotten off to a great start. But now, end of the year, here we go. Tournament berth. Congratulations.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
How's the boys looking? You happy at the spot you're in? You happy with the ball you're playing, or what?
Yeah. No, I'm happy with how the guys are. They're working hard every day, and I can't ask for anything more than that.
You are already off practice today, right? You already hit the floor.
Yeah. We had it from 10 to 12 this morning.
Vacation week, a little bit of a different element. Does that?
It's great.
Seriously, or is that sarcasm?
No, I enjoy it just because you have more time to focus on practice plans.
Oh well, you're teaching too, so yeah, you get the time. Okay, I got you.
And just get time to sleep in, which is nice right now.
Indeed. Is it? Did you guys have to change your? You must have to change your times a little bit, right? Do you practice earlier?
Yeah. So today we went 10 to 12, and then if the girls are practicing, we'll also go either 12 to 2.
Gotcha.
But, opens up the afternoons for a lot of our coaches to go out and scout other teams and check out who we may play in the tournament.
And you were telling me you kind of have an idea, but you're waiting on the pairings to come out.
Yeah, there's a few things that are going to play have a significant impact on our tournament. If St. Mary's in fact doesn't win the appeal that they're on right now, they'll drop to last place.
Oh, can you tell me more about this? I'm unfamiliar with the appeal.
So St. Mary's had a player that's I don't know how. From what I hear, it's pretty true, but they sought after a player from another town, from Peabody.
Oh.
And that is a pretty bad violation.
MIAA violation?
Yep, and they won the appeal. So I believe the Peabody Public School System didn't sign off on this kid being allowed to play at St. Mary's because they know how the process had gone. And St. Mary's appealed it. They won, but because they had this recruiting violation, as a result, they may have to drop to last place in the tournament, which would bump everyone up. So
wow,
that appeal hopefully will be figured out today.
Never a dull moment, is there? My goodness, it seems. I actually didn't realize that was going on. That was off my radar a little bit. So interesting. And St. Mary's always a powerhouse too, right? They're always a good team.
Yeah. So that doesn't help that they go do that. So, but they moved up to Division III North this year from Division Division 4 North. So now they play more of a element in our tournament. So
did you guys play them this year?
No, we did not.
You didn't?
No.
Okay.
They're good.
They are good. Well, that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. What it's an interesting time of year. Actually, you mentioned the girls' coach too. I just wanted to hit on that real quickly because am I right? We had a milestone here recently. Coach,
he won 100 games.
100 games. Yeah. So congratulations to Coach Dulles.
Absolutely.
Don't know why that just stuck with me and hit me there as we were talking, but that's a big milestone, huh?
It's a huge milestone, and I'm really happy for him. He really works hard, and he cares about the girls, and we talk a lot about like coaching style, coaching philosophy, plays, and we try to help each other. And especially over this last year, and even before that, we'd always meet before the season to sit down and meet and talk about like our X's and O's and what they looked like. And he's been a tremendous mentor for me, and I'm glad he's having this success.
I remember having an interview with him a couple of years ago. For when I was at the other station, I remember he was like the most open coach in the world with me, like just very radio open too, not like behind the scenes stuff. He was like, I was a real like kind of a hard coach to play for a while. I was like kind of annoying, I think. And I remember he didn't use that word, but and he goes, and then at some point, one of the girls said to me like, you got to loosen up on us a little bit, and I was like, you know what, you're right. Yeah. And I did, and it's worked. So it was interesting to just kind of an open book like that. It was kind of cool to see from a coach.
Yeah, he really cares about the girls that he coaches, and he wants to see them happy and having success, and
cared too much, admittedly, maybe for a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it's a tough balance because you want to be positive with the kids, with your players, and you also want to be demanding of them and hold them accountable. So finding that, I'm having a hard time finding that balance. Even my players after last game says, "Coach, we need you to be more intense." You know what I mean? But I'm trying to be positive, but be intense, and it's something I'm going to have to work on and figure out.
Well, we had I think what did we have? Like 4 of your guys on. They all lined up right here where you are. Managed to squeeze them into the studio here. And I will say, just that small sample size, you got some personalities there. So.
No, they're great players, but each one's different, you know, and each one has different goals and motives, and you got to try to, not please them all, but do the best you can to make sure they're having fun and enjoying it, because it is high school basketball.
Now you hinted to me, obviously your strong start got you into the tournament. It's been a little bit of a grind here towards the end of the year for you guys. Is that a matter of just those regular lulls of playing a long winter season here, or have teams kind of scouted you a little bit? What has kind of tied things up for a while? And now we'll take 20 minutes to answer this question.
It could take that long. I'm still trying to figure it out, but we did get out to a great start, and that was a great way to begin the season.
Was it 6-0 or
8-0?
8-0, okay.
And then, we had Pentucket. The teams we're losing to are good teams. It's just that the games we're losing now were the games we were winning early in the year, and it comes down to us getting good defensive stops when we need them and hitting shots when we need to.
Obviously, the losses are the coach's fault, so that's what
yes, they are. That's right. When it comes down to it,
I'm just kidding, of course. But it's a long season. I mean, so many teams that does happen to a lot of teams. Every time I see a team jump out to 8-0, you kind of realize they're probably not going to win the next 8, and but it is a nice little cushion to have, because now you finish 4-6, I think you said, the last 10 games.
Yeah.
But you're comfortably in now, and you get to have that. You've punched the tourney berth here in your first year. So what's the build up here as we kind of get to the tournament here? The practices intensity level up a little bit, or you're still trying to find that balance because you don't want to run these guys into the ground before the games even start?
I think I'll always be trying to find that balance. As
the struggle of a coach every day, right?
Yeah, as I change, as kids change, as the culture changes, you gotta find a way to reach them. But we have a game tomorrow against a good Melrose basketball team.
Yep.
And then
is that the last regular season game?
Second to last.
Second to last.
And then we have if we beat them, we then play North Andover.
Oh, because it's the tournament.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that will be it's going to be a good two good teams that higher divisions, and they've both made the tournament in Division II, and we're just trying to schedule tough opponents that will make us better.
These end of the year tournaments are great too, aren't they? They're just a little bit of a tune up for the big dance, and you want to try to get your team to one game at a time mentality, that sort of thing. Nice little way to get ready for the big tourney.
Yeah, it really is. It's great. It's great to have games over vacation. It's great that we're still playing.
It is great.
I was talking with my assistant who came over with me. From Triton, and he said, it's just nice to be playing now.
Yeah,
it's nice to still have the season going.
It's nice that you don't take that for granted, because so many. I remember even Coach Yamin last year. He handled it so well, but I was thinking to him, he had to miss the tournament in like a decade or something.
Yeah.
It was crazy, and they had that down year last year, and of course they played the toughest teams around the state, and their team was just not as strong as it had been, and they missed the tournament. And I remember thinking to myself, like, I could tell it is eating him up, knowing that they're fighting towards the end to get in. They ended up not getting in. He handled it so well, though, but I just kept thinking to myself, I could tell it's driving him crazy. And it's so many teams don't get into the tournament. It must be nice to not take that for granted.
It is. It keeps you keeps you in a good perspective on basketball and where your team's at, and I mean, Coach Amin, what a guy.
He's
Seriously,
a great guy, isn't he? Yeah.
He puts in so much time with his team and with his program, and not just like when he needs, not just for his 3-month window. He's year round, like getting the kids in the weight room, doing everything he can to make sure they're in the best possible shape to have the greatest season they can have.
And you guys are kind of uniquely close too. You don't always see like all the coaches. Like, let's be honest. I mean, you all work for the same school, but it's not always this. We're all pulling in the same direction feeling at every school. It does kind of feel that way right now with the group of coaches at Newburyport. A lot of coaches that get along and really genuinely root for each other and want to see each other do good, which is not always the case for those of you who don't know.
No, it's nice. I mean, I love Coach Amin. I've known him since I was in high school, and he's always been a terrific person and mentor. And so we get along. I see him almost every morning in the school. And then Coach Rowe, who's a baseball coach, works our basketball games, and he comes in and works out a lot. So I get to see him often, which is nice. And Coach Smolsky, the football coach, I'm usually across the hallway from him, so I always see him every day.
Yeah. And he was an alum too. Did you guys didn't cross paths though, right?
Oh, he was a year ahead of me.
Oh, he was? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I received probably the worst screen from him. I mean, it knocked me out. It was the best pick I've ever ran into in my life.
No kidding, really?
It was like a brick wall. It was the worst.
Oh, wow.
But and he's a terrific person, coach. So
you remember it to this day, the screen.
I'll never forget it. It was in the old high school gym, and it was on the left side of the court. And it was in the open court near half court, and I didn't see it coming. And you got this half grin going on as you tell that story. It's hilarious. It was a great screen. I wish we could set some of those, but
now we're getting at to why we've had some recent struggles. I see what we've been working on in practice. The screening.
Yes, screening. Yes, that is something we need to work on.
Let's talk a little bit. We'll get more into this as we go too. But as you get ready for tournament play, every time I watch a tournament game, it does. I mean, this is a real generalization, but with basketball, it seems like officials are more apt to kind of throw the whistle away a little bit, and a lot of times the tougher teams down low win. They banging down low. Tough teams tend to get through these tournament games. Is there anything you can do to improve toughness, or you guys been working on getting physical, that sort of thing in practice? Or
we know. I feel like we generally have like a tough team.
Yeah.
But we've been doing a lot more rebounding drills.
You had a kid in here with a sling last time I was talking to somebody.
Yeah, poor guy.
Who was that again?
I believe that was Austin Rosso.
The big guy, your center, right?
Yeah, he had broken his hand. But it's good to have him back, and it's just good to have some guys who are not afraid to like get down low and really, get dirty with it.
Not worried about the physical presence with your guys?
No, I'm not. I love the team we have, and they are all almost over-aggressive sometimes.
Okay. So staying out of foul trouble, another key.
That'd be better.
All right, Coach, we'll take one quick break. We'll talk some more about as you get ready for the tournament and all that stuff. I must say, I love the maroon blazer there.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's a real good look. Does everybody get one of those, or is that a coaching staff thing?
The whole varsity team.
The players all get one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a good deal for all the middle schoolers. I think you want to play basketball. There you go.
I do too.
We'll be right back. More with Coach Clay in just a moment. This is Afternoon Drive with Drew Moholland. Keep it here. We'll be right back. Well, isn't that a classic? Very nice. The Professors of Funk right there. Professors of Funk. My name is Drew Moholland. This is Afternoon Drive on JOP Radio. We are joined by the head coach of Newburyport boys basketball, Coach Dave Clay. Nice enough to join us here again. A repeat guest, I believe the first one we've had. So that just means he's very special. But we had him on before the holidays at the beginning of the basketball season, and they had got off to a great start. The season is now down to the final couple games. They punched a tourney berth, and we're kind of previewing the tournament a little bit. We just talked to Coach about how you guys are in a little end of the season basketball tournament right now. There's a big one going on at the Graph right now too on the hockey side. I know your athletic director Kyle Hodgson is busy over there, but have you got a chance to see any hockey yet?
I have not yet.
Newburyport Bank tournament, of course.
Yeah, not the bank tournament, no.
Yeah, well, I know there's plenty of options. There's a lot of games left this week, so. But I know your athletic director is spending a lot of time over there. We were just talking off the air. I guess he's like waking up there and spending late nights too, huh?
He is one of a kind. I mean, really, the work he puts in is unreal. I mean, it's amazing what he does.
Absolutely. We had Richie Eaton on. Too, who's a big part of the he gives Kyle all the credit these days. It's funny, I think it's somewhere in between. I think they both do a lot of good work for it, but Richie was telling me that Kyle does all the scheduling. He's the one spending the long hours. I'm just there to kind of watch and talk to people. So
it's good.
Another great guy. But yeah, so busy day over at the Graph. If you do have a chance to go watch some hockey over there, go do it. Newburyport won their first game for St. Peter Marion yesterday. I think they put up like 9 goals.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, Coach Emin was talking about that one, was he today? must have been pretty happy about that. But good start for Newburyport in that tournament. They'll look to get a win. I think they play Friday. So again, we'll have Coach Emin on Thursday, maybe a little look ahead, so that'll be fun. But Coach Dave Clay, so we're talking tournament basketball here a little bit. You don't know who you're going to play yet. Does it matter, or is it all about you guys?
It does matter, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll control what we can control.
Yep.
And that's basically our play and how we perform. But it's looking like we'll either play Amesbury, Essex Tech, or Lynn Tech.
It's interesting. So Amesbury would be unique because they are kind of more of a Cape Ann League rival. I'm sure you're familiar with the other teams too, but that must be kind of a different animal starting off with a team that you know very well that is right next door, and well, you guys don't really like each other very much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you rather not see them, or?
No, I think Tom Camo is a great coach, and he does a great job with that team over there. So
kill him with kindness. Good play.
You know, any team we play at this point is a good team.
Right. Yeah.
You know, they've done the job that they needed to do to get into the tournament, and now it's now you're just playing the best teams in your area in the state.
There is something cool about what I always love about the state tournaments, and same thing with like March Madness. I think it's what makes it so appealing is just the whole one and done thing. Like the tough teams know that any bad night, it can all end. But for the teams in the middle of the pack, and even the teams that just sneak in, it's like, let's make a run. We catch fire at the right time. We can win it all, and that's kind of a cool feeling.
It is, and that's what I think is unique about the tournament, and it has that X factor of that everyone knows it's their last game, or especially the seniors and even the underclassmen. They know it's like the last game of the season, so they usually put forth more effort. And you know, a team who you may have beaten a few times may come out and surprise you because now they're giving everything they have and they know they have nothing left to lose.
Do you worry at all about, and you kind of have a nice mix, you said. You got some young guys, but you got some good veteran leaders too. And you probably remember from your playing days. I mean, there is an element of, you know, you're on the big stage, whole community's out to watching you. It's one game. In the end, it's a really fast game, so it's can be over if you go cold for a while. It can hurt you and knock you out of the tournament. Is there an element of just that amped up pressure that you worry about with your guys, or like how do you settle the boys down a little bit? You know,
I was more nervous last year when I was coaching Triton because had been the first time we made it in 16 years, so they hadn't experienced that. But Newburyport is a little bit different in the fact that they've been there a few times, and they went pretty deep last year to the I believe the North semifinals. So they've experienced it all. They know what to expect, and we've been lucky enough to have some great atmospheres when we played Triton and when we played Amesbury, and all our home games. Our fans are phenomenal. So they've now seen it a few times of that atmosphere, but you know, it's a tournament. It's just it's amped up.
But you never really have to worry in a tournament game about your fans not turning out with Newburyport. But it'll be a rowdy atmosphere no matter what. As a coach, do you guys have like a, you know how like some teams like to shoot the 3-ball? I know you got plenty of guys that do that on your squad. But is there ever like say you guys are cold, ball's just not going in, bad shooting night. Is that when you call the timeout and you're like, are you the kind of team that says, get it to the rim, let's just drive the ball, maybe get fouled, we just got to see the ball go in for a little bit? Is that part of your coaching strategy with these guys if it's an off night?
Yeah. And I think I tell all my players that, if you're not hitting it from deep, you need to get to the free throw line.
Yep.
And that's when at the free throw line, you have some easy shots. Your form kind of like, gets shaped in at that time. And I've seen a lot of players, once they get to the free throw line, then they start hitting from deep.
Just see the ball go in.
Yeah, really.
So important,
that simple,
right? I remember that. What's the best? I mean, it's got to be weird for you as a coach, and after having a great playing career. But it's when you're playing in that tournament. What's it like knowing that you're just kind of pulling the strings now, as opposed to actually having the ball in your hands and that sort of thing? Is there ever a time where you just want to go out there and rip a guy off the court and go, what are you doing?
Yeah, at times.
At times. Hopefully not too often.
No. If I'm doing my job the right way, we're figuring that out in practice so it doesn't happen.
Yeah, these are young kids, though. I'm sure that happens multiple times during the year, right?
Oh, yeah. We have, I mean, we play a lot of young guys right now. And
what is the breakdown? How many seniors do you start?
We don't have any senior starters.
Wow.
We have 3 junior starters and 2 sophomore starters.
Wow. Talk about a nice little year set up for next year, huh?
Yeah, no.
And how important is it, too, you talk about that, you're talking about returning a starting 5, which not too many teams that make the state tournament can say. I'm sure you were looking at this team's roster and saying it would be nice to get in the tournament and get some tournament experience, not only for this year, but as a program builder, too. I'm sure as a coach, knowing that you have 5 starters returning, that's pretty huge.
Yeah, no, it is. The seniors offer so much as far as leadership, and even coming in and giving us big minutes off the bench.
Name drop some of the seniors. Who you got the?
I feel like Jake Valsich has come along recently and been heating up from deep. I mean, he's been tremendous. Austin Rosso, he's a huge presence underneath the hoop for us.
That's who you said had the broken hand, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Noah Van Schelkwick can get going from deep as well and play good defense. Oh, man, there's just so many of them. Ryan McDonald is a phenomenal defender and just like a great energy guy that gives us a big boost.
It's cool that you got a bunch of seniors that are, I mean, not that they have a choice. You can either do it or not play, but it is nice when guys can come in and kind of accept that role coming off the bench. Like, what the heck are these sophomores doing starting? Let's go. We're upperclassmen. But these guys have all taken it in stride and playing their roles and knowing that you got the best interest at heart.
Yeah, no, I love them all. You know what I mean? It's no easy.
All of them, Coach, really? All of them?
Yeah, they are all great.
That's good.
And you know what? Considering that a lot of them haven't started a lot and they still bring it every practice, and that's a credit to them and their parents for raising them the right way. That's
very cool. Again, folks, we're joined by Coach Dave Clay here, Newburyport boys basketball coach. They learn. When did you say again? Sorry, I keep asking you that. Saturday you learn?
Friday morning.
Friday morning. You'll learn the pairings, and he will know who he's playing in round 1 of the tournament. If you have any questions for Coach Clay, you can shoot him our way on Twitter, too, at Joppa Afternoons. That is at Joppa Afternoons. Maybe we'll catch some of you guys at home here watching or listening and on the vacation week. So school vacation week, and a nice little day for vacation week. Did you get outside today at all, or is it all basketball all the time now?
All basketball all the time right now.
Life of a coach.
Yep.
What is the toughest part about it? Is there any focus issues being school vacation week?
I haven't seen them yet.
No.
I'm hoping I don't.
That's good. But, zoned in?
Yeah. No, they really are. They know what's on the line. They know what they need to do. So it just comes down to them doing it and us making sure they're doing it.
Does it feel like a long season? Like I was telling you before you came on today, I feel like we just had you on, but then I looked, I was like, geez, that really was early in the season. It was early December. It's been a while. Yeah. Does it flies by for me from an outsider's point of view, but does it fly by for you, or does the winter seem kind of long and it's a grind? And, you see the NBA players, they're like Celtics took a whole week off and they had 3 games that week.
Yeah. It's funny. We were just talking about this. Like December is kind of slow.
Yeah.
January flies by.
Yeah.
And then February gets back to being a little bit slow because you're waiting on the pairings and
and spring.
Yeah, and spring right around the corner.
Yeah, it is. It's funny this this feel though that when it starts to get a little bit warmer, you get some weird days like this mixed in with some snow, and you kind of know it feels like tournament time, doesn't it?
It sure does, yeah.
Is it, as far as like school support goes, do you find is there like a basketball group of crowd that's always there and a hockey group, or is it all one big school fan support thing?
The whole school. Yeah. I mean, it's odd.
Everybody always says that. It's amazing how the support for all the sports is just no matter what. You got a good team, they're going to be there.
Yeah, and even we've had some games where we were outnumbered and they still showed up and they were supportive, and I believe Miles Maloof and Chase, and they kind of heed the whole thing and get everyone there and have their Facebook page out there and get people.
Oh, they're the ones
up.
Organizing this thing?
Yeah.
I keep asking everybody who.
I don't know who organizes
Nobody
that
knows.
site.
Nobody knows.
I know that they are the representatives in the school to make sure people get to games.
I have had people on the show who do know, and they can't. They're like sworn to secrecy.
Really?
Yeah, they can't. I will never find out who runs the Port fan section thing.
Oh,
I don't think you'll know. But if you do know, I don't think you'll be allowed to tell me.
No, well, whoever it is, if you're listening, thank you.
Yeah, they do a good job with it. But we had some fun with them too. They were tweeting us on the last show. But it seems like they're always well organized. And I remember we did for the radio side, we did Newburyport Triton hockey about a month ago, or maybe not even. And that crowd was crazy.
How awesome was
Were
that?
you at that game?
No, no, we had practice. I actually let my guys out early to go to that game.
Oh yeah.
Because I know how big of a game it is, and us coaches just sat back and kind of tried to figure out where we were at the time.
Yeah.
But I saw a lot of clips from it when they're singing. It was just That's what it's about.
It was one of the best atmospheres I've been in, and I've done plenty of those games too. And for some reason that night just seemed an extra amount of juice in the building. But you'll have plenty of those nights here with the tournament, and hopefully several nights like that. Anything that. What's like the one flaw of your team? And there's probably several, but like what's the one thing that throughout the year you kind of keep harping on every single practice? It seems like there's one thing that's really not keeping you back. Obviously, you're a tournament team, but one thing that you're looking at going, if we don't get better here, we're in trouble.
Ooh.
And the list comes out.
Yeah. No. I'd say it's the focus and attention to the little details of where to set a screen, of how to set a screen.
Yep.
How
Did you bring in the football coach?
Yeah, seriously. He could give a good explanation, I'll tell you that much. But it is the details that, as coaches, we overlook in the beginning of the year too.
Yeah.
Because we just focus on the main concepts, and then, teams understand those main concepts they're trying to run, and if you don't do the little things great, you're going to get beat. And
you got some shooters you're trying to free up, which is probably why you're running a lot of screens, right?
Yeah.
But who's the mind blanking? I had him sitting right
McLaren,
there. McLaren. What a career he's putting together.
Oh, my goodness. He is terrific.
Yeah.
He's a phenomenal basketball player.
I watched some clips of him, and he's like, I would hate guarding him. He seems like one of those guys without the ball you're just chasing after all day long.
Yeah, he's always moving. He's always trying to get open, and we're doing our best to keep him open,
Yeah.
And get him the ball. And he's also done a great job of distributing the ball too. He knows when it's not a good shot, and he passes it up, which is a credit to him and his basketball knowledge.
One of the juniors too, right?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it is.
He seems like a good. He's soft-spoken, but he seems like kind of a nice, quiet leader too.
Yeah.
Well, that's at least the impression I got spending an hour with him. So now I know everything about him.
Yeah. No, he is a very good person.
He is good.
Yeah.
And it seems like you got a lot of those guys. It was a really good group actually that came in here. It was fun. I actually jumped on the bus before one of your games.
Yeah.
That was good. Again, we're joined by Coach Clay here on WJOP Radio. The show is flying here. My goodness. Sometimes I look at the clock and I can't believe where we're at. Let's do this. We'll take one more quick music break here. We'll be back. We'll talk more basketball, talk more Newburyport, talk more wherever this takes us here in just a moment. My name is Drew Moholland. It is Afternoon Drive on WJOP. All right, welcome back to Afternoon Drive here on WJOP Radio. My name is Drew Moholland. We're joined today by the head coach of Newburyport boys basketball, Dave Clay, getting ready for the final 2 games of the season and then tournament play. So a good time to have Coach Clay in here. We were just actually talking, for those of you driving around right now, it's not so much now, but when the show started, there was like this misty fog out there, and it was weird. I was driving up here on the highway from Danvers, and it was like bright sunshine, beautiful day, and then just suddenly driving into like this moisture. And you said you haven't really seen too much of that here.
No, not like this.
It was a little weird, right?
Yeah, it was.
It was kind of cool looking, but I don't know. Interesting weather we're having here with the spring-like temperatures in mid-February. But you ready for some 70-degree heater?
Oh, I'm hoping for a beach day tomorrow.
Beach day tomorrow? Yeah, vacation week, right?
Seriously.
That is too funny. So you got a school vacation week right now. You got gearing up for a basketball tournament. A lot going on with the school, right? Because don't exams happen here in the back end too of February, or did they just happen? I can't remember my high school days.
Yeah,
okay.
They just happened towards the back end of January.
Okay. So it's right. Okay, gotcha.
Right after.
Okay, so the kids aren't really worried about too many monstrous tests right now. That's
Not
a good
anymore.
thing.
No.
Not anymore. All right, well that's good. That must take a little pressure off come tourney time.
It definitely does.
Have you had any issues with that with your guys? I mean, I can imagine. I remember high school. It seemed like you always had maybe like the one class or the one whatever that just like maybe a group of guys on one team are kind of like struggling with together, and maybe a tough teacher, who knows, whatever the reason being. But do you ever have you ran into any of those issues with like a teacher's come up and been like, maybe these guys gotta stay after with us a little bit and take you away from practice? Has that happened yet to you?
We try to be proactive in that.
Yeah.
So the week leading up to our midterms, they all had to stay after school and go to a different subject each day to get extra studying in. And even if they said that, even if they had A's in that class, they all had to stay after that week and make sure they.
That was a coach's mandate thing?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
What made you come up with that?
I want them to know that, I find academics to be more important than basketball. Even though I love basketball, it's my passion. It's for the majority of the students, education is where they're gonna.
Yep.
Have success and do more within their life. And I want them to stay on top of their grades, so they get good grades and can make the honor roll and get into a good college and have more options when they graduate, and so they are also eligible,
Yeah, well, yes, that's a win-win for everybody, right?
Yeah.
The one thing I always say this about you and several of the Newburyport coaches, including Coach Amin, who I know very well. For whatever reason, you guys are players, coaches, and I can just tell the openness that the players have around you. It's just easy to tell even when they walk in here that they enjoy playing for you. Is there any? I wonder if you're going to get to that point, and maybe it's already happened. I don't know, but where some of these guys are maybe bouncing college advice off you when it comes to that, and what do you think? And walk me through it. Has that already happened? Do you expect it to happen?
I'm hoping more in the future. There are a few guys who I've talked to about what they want to do and what they're pursuing as a major, and but these seniors have already kind of coming into the season. Some of them had already been accepted and committed to going to colleges, like Noah Van Shelkwick going to Syracuse, like the school of business there, which is a huge accomplishment. Yeah. And aren't you supposed to be on the radio when you go to Syracuse?
Yeah, right. It's one of the best journalism schools in the country there, but of course, good business program too. Yes.
Yep. So like with this class right now, I've already sat down with a few of the players of the junior class who are starting to think about college, and not only, some of them are thinking about athletically playing in college.
Yep.
So I sat down with our point guard George Coryell and talked about like his options, what he wants to do, and then it was actually I had a real good time out with Casey McLaren to Holy Cross is interested in him, so we went.
Yeah, I was going to say he must be getting some looks.
Yeah, so we went to Holy Cross, and it was nice of him and his dad to invite me, and I went with them and enjoyed a game and got to see the facilities and meet some of the coaches. So that was.
You went down with the family?
Yeah, it was.
That's cool.
His dad. Yeah, it was nice. It was a good day.
That's kind of nice to be brought in like that, huh? That's a very personal thing, going to the college visits with the family, but bring you. That was very cool.
Yep.
It would be interesting to see where he lands, because he's a real solid player.
He is, and this season and this spring and summer are really big for him, and in terms of his growth and him getting seen in front of people, and I know he's going to have a great senior year, but this offseason is really big for him to.
Do you ever have he doesn't at all seem like a problem guy. I almost wonder in the other direction. Do you ever have to say to him, like, I need you to shoot more? Stop being so unselfish? Or is that not his problem? Like, what's the issue with him? If it can be tough being such a great all-around ball player, it kind of learning how to get others involved or whatever the issues may be. There are issues that come with being, a star player. Yeah, no,
of course, he does take the majority of our shots, you know what I mean? Yeah. And, rightfully so, he does, and he should, what I like about him is he takes a a high quality shot. It's something that's within our offense. It's something that we know we expect him to take. The players expect him to take.
Yep.
So that's good. And we just had a talk a couple days ago about getting people involved earlier on. To get them their confidence level high, and then starting to seek his out. But he's been phenomenal.
I could see that being more important even come tournament time, because I know going into these big games you're going to be well scouted, and the number one rule for most teams is going to be don't let him beat us.
Yeah. No, and he has a very high basketball IQ.
Yeah.
So he knows that if he has the ball in his hands and it's not getting touched by other people, that people are going to focus in on him. And being as smart as he is on the court, he knows that's not going to be productive for him. He's going to have to take challenge shots. So he's been great with getting other people involved. So when the ball does come back to him, it's an easier uncontested shot.
Move the ball. How many times are you yelling that from the sideline?
Usually a lot.
Good about.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I've been meaning to ask you? I noticed that when I think last time you were on the show, I tweeted something about you being on, and the search function thing comes up here on Twitter, and there was one very popular tweet involving you from a man I think ESPN's Jeff Goodman.
Oh, Jeff.
decided to publicize and do the breaking news that Newburyport High had hired you in the offseason. I just randomly came up on my thing, and I was like, I did a double take. I go, ESPN's Jeff Goodman breaking the news of Newburyport's basketball hire. Obviously, you must know him from way back.
Oh, Jeff's a phenomenal person. He is, as you know, he is like the best of the best. And I know he's very good at what he does as his job, but as a human being, it doesn't get much better than Jeff Goodman. I play softball against him in the league.
Yep. Because he's from Newburyport, right?
Yeah, I think he's from I want to say Falmouth or. Originally, but he lives in Newburyport now, and he came and talked to our team. Took time out of his day after he got back from Lithuania with the Ball brothers to come and talk to our team.
It was an interesting trip, huh?
I'm sure it was. Yeah.
It was like, how'd you pull that? Getting to cover the what's it, LeVar ball, right?
Yeah. But he brought home some good messages to our team. He's come to see us play a few times, and he'll give us good feedback on what we need to improve on. He just has been a tremendous asset to our program and just to the community as a whole.
How'd you make that connection? Does you guys go way back, or is it just through the basketball program in recent years?
Just through playing softball together. That's how we started, and we started talking about basketball. And then when I had my house fire, he was very supportive and helpful in that.
Oh, that's
cool. And then as we got to know each other and talk sports, he's been a tremendous help.
I saw him today. He was breaking news on. Did you see that about Louisville?
I did.
Stripped of the 2013 championship and all that stuff. Those Rick Pitino years are kind of getting worse even though he's gone.
Yeah,
but
that's tough.
Vacated a whole lot of wins there. So luckily, no scandals like that in Newburyport there.
Nope.
We'll stay away from those. That guy was a great coach too. I feel like college basketball misses a little something with Pitino, but it does seem like he at least was not as aware of things as he should have been.
Yeah, I think that from what I hear, and it's pretty fluent through Division I basketball, where there's a lot of money being thrown around.
And there's like 3 different scandals going on there. I don't even think that was that one that they got stripped.
I think Arizona was in one earlier this year with the whole Adidas shoe company thing.
And there's going to be 30 other programs that eventually we'll learn were involved in some sort of money thing. So very interesting. And actually, it does present an interesting. In a different level, you're a high school coach, but off the court stuff, I don't think people ever realize how much of that there is.
Oh, it's awful. It's awful.
It's got to be the worst part of the job, right?
It is. There's so many people out there with the wrong intention. You know what I mean? They lie to kids. They tell them, you're gonna get a high, Major I recruit, and the kid may not even be a Division III player. You know, it's like they lie. A lot of them I see lie to kids to get a check at the end of the day, to get their money to play for their program.
Yeah, and I noticed earlier in the thing, and for some reason it stuck with me, you noticed that you made a mention of how good the parents are with your team this year. Parents can be tough at times, especially at the high school level where everybody thinks they got the next Kobe Bryant. but it seems like you kind of got lucky here in your first year at Newburyport. So far, so good on that front.
Yeah, you're always going to have those emails.
Yeah. The email. They all have your email. Huh?
They do. And for the most part, they're good. You know what I mean? But I really care about the kids, and when I get an email from a parent about whatever it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think they understand.
Usually playing time, right?
It could be playing time. I had one more recently. Over a whole different topic that is non-basketball related,
Yeah.
And it just, it just stops my time in doing preparing for a game or preparing for practice or whatever I'm doing to prepare, and it takes time just to deal with that, and that can be distracting.
That's where the coaches really bond in the lunchroom, right? Just talking about those emails. Yep. Yeah, I know everybody gets them. It's just the nature of the beast these days, I guess. But it seems like you got lucky with a good group.
I did.
Paul, we're in the final few minutes here, Coach. I wonder. I know you won't tell me. No coach will ever tell me who they want to play or who they would prefer to play in the tournament. But as you kind of look ahead at the landscape, you probably start to see a potential path of like teams that you might have to run through. And are you already scouting like multiple teams?
Yeah,
you are.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that being like fun, scouting a team that you might not even play.
Yeah, no. I mean, you just got to cover all your bases because you just never know.
Yeah. Do you guys like go off? Are you actually going to these games, or is it mostly film stuff? How does that work?
We usually go out and see them. So last night I had one guy watching Melrose and another guy watching Linfield.
Wow, different directions. Everybody goes off, huh?
Yep. Oh, fortunately those two were playing each other, but we needed another one on Linfield and another one from Melrose, who we play tomorrow. And then I was at Essex Tech Peabody game watching Essex Tech. We had another guy. We've gone to St. Mary's game. We were just trying to go all the games we can.
Wow. It's a busy lifestyle.
Yeah. I mean, my wife's not a fan of it, but
I'm happy you went there. I was going to ask, what does your wife say about that?
She knows it's in the home stretch. She knows this is my passion.
Yeah.
It was funny. We were talking about it a couple days ago. She's like, if you could just coach basketball, would you do that? I'm like, I love teaching, but yeah, I do love to coach basketball. She's like, well, and she works at Brooks. She's like, well, if we can get on campus living, you could probably do that. I'm like, no, for what it pays, no, I cannot. But I love that her heart's in the right spot, and she's a tremendous woman, and she's been a champ this year.
And what's your wife's name again?
Rebecca.
Rebecca. So yeah, I mean, and that's a big change too. And even I'm sure she feels the switching of schools. Triton last year, Newburyport coaching this year. I mean, the stresses that come with your life with making that move come with hers as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, she's had to pick up food for me after a loss. She knows I don't like to lose, and to me I'm like embarrassed when we lose. So like a couple nights, I mean, I had to go pick up our food from the back side of a restaurant because I didn't want to go in case I saw anyone, you know what I mean, and deal with that.
Oh, that is such insight right there, man.
So she's a phenomenal woman, and at this. I don't know what I'd do without her right now. She's the best.
It's funny, the unsung heroes, right?
Hands down.
Especially in a coach's life. And you guys are recently married too, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah, this summer.
Yeah, this summer. Okay, because I remember we mentioned it last time. So that's exciting. So yeah, off season she's looking forward to, but I know she'll probably be at every tournament game, right?
Oh, she's at all of them. She's great.
I was listening to during the Olympics. I was watching actually my old Little League coach. Ray Bork.
Oh wow!
Yes. Yeah. It's funny. I think I mentioned it on the show last time. It's very funny. His son Chris was on my Little League team, and also our catcher was Megan Duggan, the captain of the women's team.
Wow.
So I'm like, I don't know why I didn't end up in the Olympics, but those were my two. We won a championship when I was 11, the White Sox. Very, very exciting. But yeah, so it was funny. I was seeing Ray on the TV. They had him on during the intermission, and he was talking about how he's good watching the kids and stuff, all that. Always been good watching family members play. He said his wife is a different story. His wife is a reality TV show. If you just put her on during the game. What is your wife like? Is she like a stress case up there, or is she pretty laid back with it, or?
I don't know if she's watching half the time. I mean, my mom's an angel, and she's gone to every game since I've coached and played, and even when I was in college, she went to all those games. So I think my mom now has someone to talk to all the time, and she enjoys that. So, but she'll make comments, about like, you may have lost your cool there, or stuff along those lines about what I can do better, which I love.
Probably stuff that only she can say, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, is she a basketball girl, or is it more mom? Or I'm sure your mother is, after watching you all these years.
I still don't know. I don't think my mom really knows truly a lot about basketball still. But what I love is I usually talk to my mom after every game, and she'll tell me who her favorite player was. And
no kidding.
Usually that favorite player is like the person who works the hardest. So like that's usually like after a game, next practice I'll be like, you're my mom's favorite right now. and to them they may be like, yeah, whatever. But to me it means the world, because that means there's
an actual award for mom's favorite player.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's like the equivalent of the Tommy point for Newburyport basketball.
That's a good one. Yes.
That is very funny. Well, very good. Who's mom's favorite right now?
She loves a little George Coryell. She loves Georgie.
What has George done recently? Is he scrapping or what?
He's our heartbeat, really, on our court.
Really?
If his energy level is high, and it usually is, we're flying around the court. We're getting deflections and getting good stops on defense. And if he's not bringing what he can usually bring, you can see the momentum of the team go down, and it's a lot of pressure on him to be like, with it every game. But he's risen to the occasion. He's
off the bench guy, spark plugger.
Oh, he's our point guard.
He's your starting point guard. Okay,
He's awesome.
Gotcha. All right, well, that's good to know. What as tournament time here, you get the hockey team in. I think who else has played? The girls today.
The girls basketball team made it.
So they're in. Who else got into tournament play for the winter teams here?
Let's see. I feel like
track
has individuals who make
not as clear cut, but
track always does well. They win state championships all the time.
Yeah.
Those coaches are phenomenal in what they do. But yeah, I believe every team in Newburyport made the tournament.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Not too many schools can say that. Will you try? And I mean, it's got to be. I can imagine just by what you've already telling me about scouting and practices, and then never mind actually playing basketball games. You're a busy man, but is there any chance of like getting to maybe you get to a hockey rink and support the hockey team and all? Is that something you guys try to do as far as crossing over a little bit?
Absolutely, yeah. No, I can't wait to go watch them. I'll probably be able to see more during a tournament game, because our practices won't coincide. We'll make sure that we get as many fans there as possible. But I love what Paul does with the program, so I'm definitely gonna
exciting
make more.
brand of hockey this year.
Yes, it is.
They have to get out of that. I probably shouldn't even say this because they'll probably end up playing there, but Stoneham. That rink in Stoneham, the house of horrors for them, and it's no secret to Coach you mean. Actually, no, they're very good this year. They should play there and get that monkey out the back.
They'll do it, absolutely.
Yeah, they are a good hockey team this year. But
yes.
It is an exciting time of year, isn't it? This is what you coach for, right?
Yeah.
To get into the tournament and have this kind of madness kick in at the end, right?
Yeah, we're very fortunate to be here and excited for what the next few couple weeks will bring.
Absolutely. Final minute, Coach Clay. Final pitch to people. You're going to be in the tournament. You get 2 more games left, so go to today's games if you get a chance to go, folks. But Coach Dave Clay has brought his Newburyport Clippers into the postseason tournament here. They've already punched their ticket, and they will know Friday morning who they play in round 1. Probably, a midweek game, you'd say?
Yeah. Yep.
Probably a midweek game. So,
absolutely, yep.
So you're lining up for a midweek game. What's your pitch to the community here? Maybe if you're not so much a going to the game kind of person, like to read it in the newspaper or whatever. What's your pitch to get out and support the boys?
Oh, phenomenal group of young men who give their all every game, and the more people who are there, usually the better they play, and the more energy they have. And we need as much energy in a gym that we can get. And we'd love your support, and just come check it out. I think you'll enjoy it.
Get rowdy.
Yep.
Should be fun. And look at this. The moisture's coming back in here. You seeing this?
Oh, yeah.
It's outside the studios here in Newburyport. We got this like weird day going on. Warm spring, but like moisture in the air. I don't know how to explain it. Ocean effect, I think, is probably what that is,
right?
Right?
An ocean mist, kind of.
Yeah. It seems like we're a good meteorologist here, right?
Yeah.
Call Barry Burbank immediately. Have us stop talking about this. Coach Dave Clay, always a pleasure, man. We really appreciate it. Enjoy having you on every time.
Well,
First
thank
repeat
you very
guest.
Much. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
And it was a blast as always. And I must say, good luck to you guys. We won't talk to you here until the tournament. We'll let you be.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll talk to you when it's all said and done. But make a good run, will you?
All right. We will do our best. Thank you.
All right. Coach Dave Clay, the great coach over for Newburyport boys basketball as they get ready for tournament action. Little well, a little March Madness that actually starts in February. So there you go. That's going to do it, folks, for another edition of Afternoon Drive here on JOPA Radio. Thank you for joining us on a Tuesday afternoon. Don't forget, big show Thursday as well. Coach Paul Yamin finally landed him. He's finally going to actually make it to the studio, unless he bails. But he should be here. Thursday afternoon, make sure you don't miss Coach Paul Yamin. I'm looking forward to it. We'll talk Newburyport hockey as they get ready for their tournament as well. JOPA Afternoons on Twitter, at JOPA Afternoons. Give us a follow. It's a good spot to be. Thank you for watching on the stream. We will see you Thursday. My name is Drew Moholland. This has been Afternoon Drive on JOPA Radio.